Sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, ba. We'll see how that goes. But we are back. And it's great. It's glorious. Might be a little delayed or fraggy. We'll be all right. You'll be all right. But hey, Rock Chalk. Rock Chalk, baby. Till I die.
Kansas is a basketball school.
How about those Jayhawks?
How about them Jayhawks?
Just riding them.
Hey.
And they get Duke this week. Early season basketball match. Oh, wait.
Wait.
Final four matchup, potentially?
We are in week 4 of college football.
College football.
And we got a huge basketball matchup. It's pretty impressive, if I don't say so myself.
I mean, the undefeated basketball juggernauts.
Pretty impressive, right? All right. Well, we'll start off with a little a rehash of the weekend. Change it from recap, just because I'm bored of it.
That's fair.
Then we'll get into President's Cup. It's important. It's a big thing this week in golf. Won't be close, but it's important because it's the biggest golf event there is.
Because America.
This week. Because America. Then we'll dive into a little college football, NFL football. And then we'll do our big parlay because we didn't last week, and it would have gotten absolutely murdered.
Yeah, it would have.
By the way,
it would have been done by
Game
11:30.
Yeah, exactly. That's if we didn't mess up on Thursday, which I don't think we would have. So here we go. Who wants to lead off?
Let's start the maybe least touted game of the week. We'll go Texas Tech versus NC State.
Brian's Wolfpack.
The Wolfpack, baby. ACC champs. Speaking it into existence.
You have to. I mean, you just have to.
Beat Texas Tech 24-17, I believe.
No.
You
had them covering, so.
It was bigger than that.
Yeah, no.
27-14. I missed the 4 and the 7 up
Tech
there.
had a touchdown. They probably got robbed on.
Yeah.
Hey, it's okay. That hit. The one thing that didn't hit that you guys both hit was the over. Or the under hit. So I had the over in that game. Thinking maybe both teams would score quite a bit.
That's a funny joke.
But not. So realistically, the game kind of went how we thought.
Yeah.
I mean, 10.5 is a hook line or one of those catch lines where it's right at a field goal and a touchdown for you that don't know this. Right at a field goal and a touchdown. So when you get that half point on a weird number like 10.5, more often than not, you're going to take a team to lose by 10 rather than more than that. So that's
unless you're confident they're going to win by 2 scores,
and
which you were.
NC State just wasn't. It didn't show that much. Texas Tech. I mean, it was just, to me, it was going to be close.
Yeah,
so that's
and
the
honestly,
only reason.
27-14.
It's not like yeah.
I mean, that's still close. Like
right.
yeah, 100%.
Texas Tech
I'm
probably missed
sure
a
that
field
Texas Tech missed a field goal as time expired to cover the spread.
I'm gonna Google that. I'm gonna look that up right now.
Next game, we'll jump up to, at that time, number 25 Oregon versus number 12 BYU at home. Those guys have jumped a lot in the rankings. BYU is now 19th, and Oregon is now back into the top 15.
Yep.
Oregon now is like this is the Oregon team that we expected to see. Did we expect to see Oregon lose 49-3? No. But we didn't expect them to really compete with Georgia anyways. No. But 46 points, we expected better out of that.
This was they were the better athletes. Skill, play call. I don't know what else to say. But that's probably what the Oregon everyone was talking about.
This is the problem overall. Like, not even this game. I didn't watch a snap of this game. I really ultimately didn't care who won. I just, from what I knew, I expected BYU to be just a little more have a little more defensive fight in them. But like, with the playoff going to 16 teams or 12 teams, eventually probably 16, maybe even
What do you
more.
know? You have insider information.
I
You said 16 right
always,
away.
yeah,
I mean,
16.
what's going
Well,
on?
in my head it was 16, but they got it down to 12. But like these teams are pretenders.
Yeah.
And they're on the fringe, like both of those. But BYU, the reason I say that is BYU's ranked 12th going into that, and it's like these teams are going to get mopped. And like that's the other side of the coin is like, yes, you want as many teams involved as possible, but
Mopped by who though?
Alabama, the top four.
The top 4?
Yeah. I mean, is Oregon competing with whoever's rated number? I don't even know
who's 4 right now.
Third or fourth. Like
I know.
Georgia, Bama, Ohio State,
Yeah, I got the 3.
No, like Oregon's not competing with any of those teams.
Michigan. I
or
think
Michigan,
is still there.
for
Clemson.
that matter, or Clemson. No,
No.
like their offense can't do anything against those teams.
Right.
And so, like,
Hey, you're not wrong.
even though I would be proponent of 12-team playoff, this is the other side of that coin. Is just that these teams simply can't cut it against the elite defenses that also can play a little bit of offense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have Oregon realistically, and you can say it's just based off of rankings too, but I don't know that I have them beating anybody at least to the top 9.
Right.
Arkansas has been playing good,
We're gonna
but
find out this week.
we're going to find out this weekend. So I'm like, okay, is Arkansas that, or will we find out? But Oregon's not going to beat Clemson, Oklahoma, USC, Kentucky, Oklahoma State, Arkansas. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see them beating those guys. So, like you said, they are that pretender. Are they that bubble team? Yeah, probably.
Can you say that about USC? Not enough?
You can't say. I mean,
Anything?
to
One way
me
or
about
another?
the Pac-12, the most impressive team in the Pac-12 so far is Washington,
100%.
and that was simply because they came
Defensively.
out and smacked Michigan State around,
Man, did they ever?
like just owned them up and down the field,
It was
dominated the game, offense, defense. Like,
It was
I mean, Michigan State showed a little life with some offense to keep the game what I would call like reasonable, but only
by score.
they just didn't lose 35-3. You know, they got to 17 or 21 or whatever the heck it was, but
Watching that, it felt like it was 72-0. Like it was not close.
Right,
Michigan State had zero chance.
game was never in doubt.
No, not even a little bit.
Which
No momentum
surprised
change. Nothing.
Surprised the hell out of me.
That was crazy.
So.
Clearly Vegas knew something.
Does that surprise you more than
Also, I didn't realize that Indiana's quarterback Penix had transferred to Washington. Bad research. My research department did not get in the ear last week
No.
and be like, "Hey, they got
Hey,
a really good
they got a
quarterback,
really quarterback with Shibata.
and they're playing at home, and Michigan State's overrated as hell." Like,
Nothing
yeah,
brought
nope.
that up. No. So our apologies on that one. We did not do
Yeah.
well there.
hard fade.
Hard fade, but it's all right.
But
is that more surprising to you than Kansas winning by 18?
That's more surprising me than Kansas winning just in general. Because like
They don't win, but they have been.
since was it 07 they went to the Orange Bowl under Mangini, the big guy.
Eric Mangini.
Yeah, and they had so like they were good for like maybe it was like 05, 07. It was either into high school or beginning of college for me. And it was so weird to
Mark
see
Mangino.
Mark Mangino, that's right. The big Mangino.
2008 they went to the Orange Bowl. Yep.
So 2007.
Right.
No, 7.
2007 into 2008.
Yeah, 2007 Orange Bowl. They went to the Insight Bowl in 2008.
Right. So, I mean, we're talking 15 years ago, but they literally haven't been relevant since. So it's just, and even then, like you didn't ever really believe. But they have, I mean, they've had some decent guys go through, decent pros go through but yeah, I'm just not going.
Oh,
I mean, I
fun.
firmly believe Kansas is better than Kansas State. That's a very easy statement I can make, and that has not been the case in at least 10 years.
Yeah.
So
You're
I
not
don't know
wrong.
what their record against each other is over that time, but I can't imagine that.
I mean, I would like
good.
to see a lot of those series where Kansas plays some team and seeing that they're 3-14 against this team or 30-70 against Kansas State,
I mean,
whatever
they
it
did
might
beat
be.
Texas last year, so maybe that's what's catapulted them into this season.
Yeah, come on.
They're riding the wave.
So, yeah, Oregon, again, sparked that conversation. The Pac-12 sparked that conversation. But Oregon beating BYU handily with favored as the lower-ranked team. And then jump up to our game of the week, number 13 Miami against number 24 A&M. A&M is who we thought was going to be a really good school, ranked sixth.
We as
the nation, the coaches polls to start. Steve for sure, but like the coaches polls right away had him ranked sixth in the country. Ended up being 24 by week 3.
Also, we thought Texas A&M would beat Marshall.
Also,
not Marshall,
Appalachian State.
It don't matter. You could say more. I don't care who you call in there. Like those, yes,
exactly.
Yeah, agreed.
So,
yeah. But we did not think that they would survive the season.
If they had done their job up to this point and then done this,
they'd be in the top 10.
Done this to Miami,
they'd be top 10.
Top 10 team.
Yeah.
Not even somehow they're still ranked after losing to Appalachian State.
They shouldn't be.
So
disgrace.
Right.
Miami just couldn't score.
What's worse, them losing to Appalachian State being in the top 10, or then you had Oregon dropping completely out, getting mollywopped.
It's always worse it's like to lose to a team that is coming to your place. Like, at no point was Oregon mocking Georgia or Georgia mocking Oregon coming across the country.
Texas
A&M
knew.
was mocking Appalachian State coming to their stadium and then paid them $1.5 million to leave with a victory.
With a dub.
So that's just not even that's why that's not comparable. It has nothing to do with really the results. It's just more of like big brother, little brother.
Also, the reason they stay in the top 25 is because they're SEC's team.
Right.
It's A&M.
And they'll win games like this.
And here
justifies.
I still think they lose 2 more in the SEC.
I am.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I guess
they have no offense.
Correct.
I guess there's teams that dropped quite a bit.
Which I don't understand how they have no offense.
There's teams that dropped quite a bit, but them.
But that's why I took the under in that game. I didn't think either team scored, and neither team
I thought Miami could, but
so Oregon jumped up 12 spots, beating BYU, who was ranked 12th at that point. A&M went up 2 spots, beating 13th ranked Miami.
Yeah,
it's just weird.
It's because Miami catapulted because of a lot of people dropping down. So did BYU.
That's true.
And I think that's why they said, well, okay, what is Miami's true spot if A&M and all those teams didn't get upset by?
But it's a difference in loss.
Yeah.
Your loss is Georgia.
Yeah.
People are seeing the juggernaut.
Oh, 100%.
Georgia is number 1, and it's
clear cut.
There's not a close second right now. Now, Saban coach teams
get better throughout the season.
Everybody sees Alabama is significantly weaker than Georgia. Likely not that true.
Not this big of a gap right now.
Not as big a gap as what the country would see.
This would be.
But Oregon loses to Georgia, their only loss. Texas A&M only loss is the aforementioned
App State, baby.
App State. So
looking at it, we kind of argued a
did
little
you see
bit.
How they won this week? Sorry, continue.
App State against Troy.
Yeah, do we have that Hail Mary?
The walk-off Hail Mary?
That was
with the quarterback
almost batted down and then caught.
Fans storm.
Yeah, that's awesome. Chase Bryce. Chase Bryce is his name.
Yeah.
But what I do like about the AP poll this week is, as much as we've talked about the shakeups in week 1, week 2, week 3, this is what makes week 4 better in my eyes for us picking games. Is now we kind of know. Baby. It's conference time, and we kind of know what the teams are a little bit.
You hope.
Well, you don't. I would. It's conference season.
Right. But if you go,
you don't know.
If you go 1 to 9,
Maction.
1 to 9, 1 to 7.
I think you know who's bad.
You know who's bad.
I think
you don't know, and you know who's the greatest.
Right.
You just don't know who's good.
The middling is always going to middle. Yeah. I mean, that's why they're there.
Absolutely. It's going to be great. But I have a shitty shot.
Yes.
However, 22 is my lucky number, so this is going to be my high school
22.22.
Right.
Wow, that's a lot of twos.
Double deuces, baby.
You want to run us through our best bets down there?
Lemon
lime.
Best
bets.
That sounds good, actually.
Tequila.
We can't
best
add
bets.
Any more to the amazing tequila drink. My gum.
Oh.
It's Flavor Saver.
You want me to stick it under the table?
Little Flavor Saver.
No, I just like.
Well, it's hard.
That's like
it's not smart to try to talk and chew gum or have gum in your mouth.
Or just talk and be you.
That's
fine.
I can, then I just start slobbering on
that's
mic.
That's the 8-year-old Flavor Saver rather than the Soul Patch.
Run.
So our moneyline locks.
Julep. It's got mint in it now. A mint dew tequila.
So everybody hit their moneyline lock this week.
Mm-hmm.
Vandy was a little bit of a dog, plus 115 for Stoy.
Oh.
I took Penn State to beat Auburn, 156. minus 156, and Cole had Florida State winning 142.
Huh.
Zamboni.
That seems like something Steve would have tried to do.
I'll be back.
So that was good. Next, spread lock. Stoy, the only one to hit with Oklahoma crushing Nebraska. That rivalry, well, quote unquote rivalry rekindled.
Absolutely dominated.
Oklahoma, I mean, Dylan Gabriel looks good.
Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma looked good.
Oklahoma-
Nebraska's bad, though.
Yeah, but Oklahoma is the first team or one of the first teams to win their first 3 games by 30 points or more in college football history. I took Michigan State, who we had already talked about them getting slapped in the face by Washington, now dropping out of the top 25, Michigan State. And then
The
you had
old
Purdue.
15-spot drop.
You had Purdue minus 1.5 and essentially a pick'em game, and they lost
on a touchdown to end the game.
Yeah.
Wow.
So very close to winning that, obviously.
The refs lost them that game. I was watching that game very intently.
Really?
At Big Grove Brewery. Shout out. Awesome place. Hit it up if you haven't.
What game?
The Purdue
Syracuse game when Syracuse won on a touchdown with no time left.
Yeah, that's not ideal, right?
Yeah, after a phantom 15-yard penalty.
Over under locks. Stoy's 67, which if Stoy sees a number above 65, he's probably going to look at it for an under. But here, Akron versus Tennessee, under 67 he took. They ended up with 69. I took the Kansas State Tulane game.
It smells fantastic, by the way.
Oh, yeah. It's real nice. It's lovely.
I'm going to take it before I drop it everywhere.
There you go.
I took Kansas State Tulane, ended up 17-10, so that under hit. And then you took Cal Notre Dame. That ended up at 41 or 42.
42, I think.
Yeah. So, again, another heartbreaking, very close pick for Cole there. D-Gen picks.
I mean, that's
plus 285.
Vegas always wins.
Stoy.
Rock chalk.
Stoy taking the Jayhawks.
Excuse me, 41. 24-17.
Yeah. Taking the Jayhawks, plus 285. That one hit.
Chalk.
Vegas always knows.
I took Florida Atlantic, who got beat up a little bit by UCF. And then you had, who did Georgia Southern play? They got beat. They were plus 365, so they were big dogs. But
So the reason I was so upset about
They
the
were,
Akron,
but they
Tennessee.
just beat Nebraska, you know.
Yeah.
So
Akron, Tennessee is because I bet on these bets, and I would have had all 4, and it was like plus like 9 something, 1,000 or something. I'd have won $100. It's
with all 4 of these?
Yeah.
Only?
Yeah.
I feel like it should have been bigger than that.
I don't think it was.
With Kansas at plus 285?
Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't remember.
And did you bet the spreads too?
No.
Or just the teams?
No, the spread's right here. I bet that right
Bet
there.
that?
I was so mad because Akron had a blocked field goal, missed field goal, went for it on like 4th and 2 from the 2, got stuffed. If they score any of those, it just doesn't go over.
Right.
But here we are.
Tough pumpkins.
Here we are.
all right, so there's our college football recap.
Cap.
Did you see the Notre Dame offensive coordinator
Yeah.
phone
Getting
call
in
to
the
the
quarterback?
quarterback on the sideline?
Have you ever been in a conversation like that? On the sideline?
I feel like you've had conversations of like, hey, we need to get our shit together. But this guy said,
There's F-bombs
your
involved.
whole effing team is counting on you. Get your effing shit together. And then there was something else. And they showed him in the box and then
While
the
he on
quarterback
the
on the other
phone.
side. And this was basically just
Is
a
it
call
Buckner?
out of like, literally,
Now.
if
Do or
it
die.
doesn't happen,
You're gone. You're done.
done.
It was awesome.
So like just, and I don't know. My guess is
worked.
that like conversation. So we come over the phone. I don't know what led up to the phone call. So like if he turned the ball over, if
Didn't.
if it was-
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't remember.
Wrong
I didn't
play
see
call,
what,
change of
like,
play
what-
call.
whatever
There's
it
so
was.
many.
So he comes over. My only assumption is after a drive that didn't end well,
Yeah.
whether it ended in turnover, ended in punt. I don't know. But basically, my guess is that coach said something. Quarterback responded with some type of excuse that somebody didn't do something or there was miscommunication, and coach either has put up with this behavior and was tired of it, which is definitely probably some of it, or like the quarterback consistently makes excuses and he's also over it.
Yeah.
And so it was just like,
it was time.
It was like parenting mode.
Yep.
Like, nope, time for some accountability, time for you to step up and you've got the starting job at Notre Dame University.
Right.
Or University of Notre Dame. Like, you are the Fighting Irish starting quarterback. It's time for you to start acting like it, or it's time for you to put the pads up and get the hell out. Yeah. And that was that conversation. I was just like, okay, this is where we're at. Yeah.
It was awesome.
So
I enjoyed every bit of it.
Drew Pine is he actually jumped in.
Some pine if he
Tyler Buckner, who was their starter to start the season, got hurt. So Drew Pine gets his first start of the season, throws for a measly 150 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Lost that game.
2 touchdowns, but Tommy Reese, he got after it. There's a video.
The video's awesome. It's one of the best things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, more and like that makes sense knowing that he's a backup. In that, like, Buckner's probably not coming back soon, I assume.
From that, it didn't sound
based upon that video alone.
But from that,
right? But just in like, hey, you're not the backup anymore. Like, just starting to put it in perspective of like, listen, it's time, buddy. Like, put up or shut up.
Put your big boy pants on. Let's go.
So,
NFL.
This says, I saw that video, Coach Reese. I texted him this Sunday, and I said, I want you to be very hard on me. Payne said after the game. That's the standard he holds me to, and that's what I asked for, and I respond well to hard coaching.
That's fair.
I mean, that was a little more than hard coach. That was a.
But I probably agree.
That was hard coaching on top of a reason.
There was a reason.
There was a necessary conversation.
Coach was triggered about something.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've seen it. I've been on the headset before when we were injured.
I feel like I've been on both sides of those conversations
multiple times. But when they do it over the headset, it's it's something. You do nothing but laugh internally because you don't want to. You can't see. You can't show it. Oh man,
you do nothing but listen.
As
soon as you start to talk again, it's just like that's a trigger for like. It's like no, that guy's talking right now.
Yeah, I would say the coach's name, but he is currently coaching in DC for a school, so I'm not going to put him out there. But let's just say he called something. I'm injured in our 5th year. Tore my Achilles. It was great. On the headset, and he calls it, and then the DB's coach at that time. Okay, we were not in our base package. No, we were in our base package. He called a nickel call.
Yep.
Okay, Saints was the call he called, but sync is the actual call. And so he calls Saints, and I'm sitting next to him, like, yelling at the team, going, no, it's sync. You should probably – this is against Grandview.
Right.
Please run. Please, for the love of God, run sync. And the difference at that point was for Moorhead to either drop or rush, essentially. Let's just put it that – simply that part. So they ran a swing route with the running back.
And he rushed.
Nobody had the running back. No one left because clearly the wrong call.
Yeah.
And the amount of words that came out of Coach happened so fast and so loud that the other team after the game heard it from the other press box, other side of it.
Yeah, love it.
And I was just like, just laughing internally. It was one of those things that's just hilarious. It happens. All right, NFL.
Miscom.
Did you know if Ryan would have picked all of his over-unders, he would have made pretty good money.
Yeah.
But he didn't. You hit them all, though.
I did.
Congrats.
Even the game that we took out, I hit that one. I just took it out.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Even the one we didn't talk
about. Good for
about.
you.
I hit.
But Cole has 2 shitty shots, but we'll get to that later. Thursday Night Football.
Chargers Chiefs.
So bad.
Jeez, you are. Anyways, Chargers Chiefs, huh? How about it?
I mean, lock it up.
So DraftKings has this new early win specifically on Thursday night, but they do it for all the games. Early win, 7 points. Your team goes up by 7 during the game. On money line, they pay you out immediately.
Yeah.
They also have it for every game on the weekend, but it's a 10-point.
Right.
So clearly Chargers go up big. I call big in the NFL, 10-plus points.
Mm-hmm.
So it hits, and then late in the game, Kansas City gets in, it hits before the game's over, and no matter who you bet on, you would have won that.
You would have won.
Early win,
Right.
first time. Now it's only been 2 weeks since they've done it, but it was pretty cool little setup there. But
Everybody's a winner.
It was to me it was it started off as a normal Thursday night game of just pure not fun football, and then it ramped up, and you saw why these are two of the top 5 quarterbacks, arguably top 10 for sure.
Yeah,
but top 5. It was really fun to watch, and Herbert with what they call his injury. It's not broken ribs. It's like the cartilage is torn between the ribs,
which is worse.
Which is worse because it will linger longer.
Correct.
And you can't pat it. It's just like
there's nothing
to do.
Not a bone healing. It's
you
kind of
move,
like
it hurts.
the high ankle sprain type of injury, anything like that. There's not necessarily anything you can do to rehab it.
The issue is
Just
he's
rest.
a quarterback.
Correct.
And they said that like breathing, stretching, twisting, and throwing were the top 4 of the 5 things you shouldn't do. Do quarterbacks do those?
I mean,
often?
Did you see him on the 3rd down play on the last drive? He literally got out of the pocket and stopped running and basically took the football like he was the most disgusted human being in the world and like shoved it away from his body because he was so mad and hurt.
By the way, he could have got the first down running
easily
if he wasn't hurt.
He couldn't move any in his
do it.
mind. He was just in complete F it. This is the worst pain in the world. I can't run. I can't throw. And just like shove the ball out of bounds.
Yeah.
Like barely made it out of bounds. And then on 4th down, throws a dime 35 yards down the
dime
field
of dimes.
It
doesn't matter. That ball was a dime. But, hey, played well.
Right.
Herbert. Played well. And then you got, Patty Mahomes doing Mahomes stuff.
Yeah.
End it. I thought overall really good game. It just started very Thursday night-ish to me.
No,
and we nailed it, minus the reason I went with KC on the spread was because of, we had too many people in a row. We weren't
also,
good
if they
college.
wouldn't have scored, they had to, an injured quarterback had to get 3/4 downs
Also
on the
that.
final drive to cover the spread. So like,
also that.
Also
that.
That shouldn't have been in the game.
Shouldn't have been in the game. No.
So,
yeah.
A lot of people were happy, though,
anything
because
else
he did. No, I don't have anything else on that game. I mean,
it was a fun one.
Yeah.
Then Falcons-Rams. We almost came back from 28-3, boys.
28-3.
Demons were almost released. And then
They weren't.
And
then it hit Goons.
And then
Goonlock.
we goonlocked it. Hey.
Way to go.
As a Falcons fan, they are competing, and they're competing to the end, and then the young guys are making plays.
Yeah.
All I can ask for this year.
Yeah.
People want Ritter in now. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't know how he's practicing or any of that either. So
You just don't have any reason to put him in.
If you don't score 27 points against the Falcons, you're not going to win.
right, exactly. And they're stopping people. They're getting sacks. They're scoring points. You can't put him in at this point.
Yeah.
Now, does Mariota have the closer mentality? He doesn't.
He can close the gap.
He can close the gap.
Just not
he
the
can
game.
He can get you to where you should win the game.
And then that's when Ritter needs
And
to
that's
come
when
in?
Ritter needs to come.
Oh, okay. You need Fitz magic.
Yeah, you need Fitzmagic right there just to end the game.
Right.
And we might be 2-0.
Yeah.
Arguably could be 2-0. We aren't. And now we're in line for the number 1 pick. And
Yeah.
I am okay with both of those scenarios.
Right. Competitive
losers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, so is what it is.
Something I teach my boys every
But
day.
we goonlocked it, so
Be a
there's that.
competitive loser, buddy.
Now let's get to the boys. Boy, is this a shock.
Redhead backups
The reason I say that is
in
because
Dallas.
The Red Rocket Jr.
Cooper
giving the
Rush.
Bengals a little taste of their own medicine.
I saw a tweet that they were comparing him to Tom Brady, by the way. Just saying.
Not Andy Dalton.
Not Andy Dalton,
No.
Tom Brady.
So like first 2 possessions, the Cowboys like Cooper Rush looked like Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And they went down the field. And then neither team did anything the rest of the game. You needed to poke
Could
that
because
game
you
with a
sacked.
stick.
You guys sacked Burrow like 6-7 times.
Well,
4 in the first half.
I'm not sure that Cincinnati they're like O-line.
Upgraded their O-line.
Yeah.
They went and bought people.
He's on track to get sacked 111 times this year.
Well,
He was
and by
sacked
on
50.
track.
He was sacked 51 times last year.
And by on track, you mean like one of like their quarterbacks will be sacked that many times because he's not making it that far.
I don't know. He doesn't take it. I mean, it's not like he gets killed, but he's going to get tired.
We're counting sacks.
No, I get it.
Not hits.
But I mean, part of that's you've got enough weapons on offense that we got to start getting the ball out of the hands
Way
quicker.
quicker.
I mean, you got Mixon in the backfield, you got Higgins and
They clearly
Chase on
can't
the
run
edges.
either.
Like, well, that's the other thing is you got to be more committed to the run, less committed to, and then you've got to be more committed to finding ways to get the ball into your playmakers' hands quickly because you obviously have a deficiency at offensive line.
Glaring.
But, like, you have things that can overcome that. And so my expectation for the Bengals, if they're going to be a consistently competitive and good team, is that their coaching staff realizes that and they start making those adjustments.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, because through 2 weeks, 100% has not been done.
No. Dallas, though.
Dallas's defense is good. Like, and ultimately, like, it's hard for me to look at it through that lens because their offense is that's what's ballyhooed. That's what everybody talks about. But like, ultimately, Dallas's success goes through their defense right now. Micah Parsons is a top 5 defensive player in the NFL right now. He's a destructor, and then they have guys that can athlete on the back end, and they'll give up some big plays every now and then. But like, they've been better this year. They've been beat a couple times, but
I was just about to ask how, because I didn't watch week 1 of the Cowboys, but I did watch a decent amount of this, and like specifically Diggs giving up more yards than any other cornerback in the league. Yeah, was he a ball hawk? Everything like that, 100%.
You're talking about last season, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but this week when he was playing the Bengals, I mean, he played a pretty good game. Like, he's getting pass breakups. He's sticking with receivers. He's not just attacking the ball. He's playing better overall sound defense rather than just going for the ball and the ball goes over his head and somebody gets,
And he had one he tried to undercut, which he actually made a really good play on. He just didn't look up in time. But besides that, like, I mean, that's what I would expect from the defense, who was great a year ago, is like, where can we make, because then at that point, like, you're just making small adjustments. You don't have to do an overhaul. Like, that's when you can really start getting down and like dissecting each individual of like, hey, what can you do better? What can we utilize, this guy in what package, and how can we, make a good defense better? And that's what they've showed so far.
A lot of people talk about how offenses are limited by their quarterback and they can't open up the playbook, right? We hear that all the time. I'm feeling as if Dan Quinn can open up the defensive playbook now because of that back end, specifically Diggs, maturing, which clearly he's going to do. There's no way that wasn't going to happen. And utilizing his ability, his aggressiveness correctly in spots, which means he can call certain defensive calls that he knows, hey, Diggs isn't going to bite. He's not going to do this.
Right.
He's gonna stay home. So I think that's only going to help.
But he can do that because he's on a good defense. I feel like, is it Terrell on the Falcons?
Yeah.
Very good corner. I feel like he's the exact opposite. You're going to see some regression out of him this year. And
you already have.
You
already have.
Right. And it's not because
statistically you already have. Sorry.
Right.
My bad.
There are any, like, the skill set level on either one has really gone it's the defense, it's the guys that they play around.
Correct.
So like, when you get a really good defense, your great players can be greater, and when you get a really bad defense, then
they regress.
Really magnified when your good player does bad.
Correct.
Where's Logan Ryan at right now? I can't remember. He's been, a great safety, great defensive back. Now you haven't heard of him for a while. Now is he older? But like,
but even like Barr, who came from your Vikings, like, is the Cowboys' defense makes him look not as old and washed up as what the Vikings did.
And he didn't even look that bad with the Vikings.
No,
it was
but
just you had Kendricks and you had guys around him that were better athletes overall.
Correct.
But like in Diggs on that play of the 4th down slant, Chase runs, Diggs' hands in there, makes that play. The ball goes over his hand by an inch and a half.
Well,
it wasn't that
great catch. I mean, he's got
right,
a hold of
100%.
Chase. That's just an elite
and
catch.
It wasn't like Diggs made a bad play. He didn't get beat like.
No.
Whereas
right
maybe sometimes last year he gets a little bit over aggressive because Chase jumps off the ball rather than runs a slant there, whatever it might be. But
Yeah.
he made every part of that play was good
Mm-hmm.
on both ends. Really
Right.
great catch, but
Yeah.
also great play.
Yeah, I mean, disappointing offense considering how we started. I mean, we scored 20 points in the game, but we got Pollard involved, had a huge game, had over 100 yards rushing, receiving. Him and Zeke just have to be on the
He
field.
didn't. He had 98, but that's fine.
That's fair. He lost to.
I know because he's on my damn fantasy
he
team.
lost two when he took a knee. But Zeke running hard. I like what I'm seeing out of Zeke. I think we need to be more consistent in how we use those guys.
How many
together on
rushes
the
do you
field.
think you had?
Total? 25.
If you take out Cooper's,
Yeah.
because you never count
Like
quarterbacks.
rushes.
26.
Yeah, and they need to be around. They need to be at least
26 or
25
105.
to 30. And
Elliott had 15. Pollard had 9. And then you had Turpin and Lamb doing.
yeah, so you need to. I think Zeke, you don't want more than 20, but I think we can get up closer to 20. And they need to be more dedicated to whatever packages are available, in that you can get Pollard in the slot and take a guy out of the box, because you have to honor that and get Zeke. Because Zeke's running hard. He's running downhill. He looks fresher. He looks lighter. Like,
I love the.
So-
I mean, Zeke had 15
Potential's there.
rushes, 2 targets.
Yeah.
Pollard had 9 rushes, 7 targets.
Right.
I love that. Actually, I would love
Mhm.
Pollard to have a little more touches, but whatever.
right.
That's a good mix.
The more that those
Offensively.
two are on the field together, the more dangerous we are.
Yeah. You should
And
see
yeah.
that more often. Kind of like the Pack did.
Brown had a huge week receiving. Gallup's coming back. So the offense is only
Looking
going to
up.
continue.
What did Dalton
to
Schultz
grow.
do?
4
Garbage.
targets, 2 receptions.
Got dropped from my fantasy team.
18 yards. That was
Okay.
Not good. All right. boys looking up. Moving on.
Bears Packers kind of. I thought the Bears were going to hang a little bit better, but it was in Lambeau.
That was yes.
Like that's where.
But I
that's
feel
where
like
it
our
was.
spread more like was like, show us, Chicago, how you
Right.
are. You played well against the Niners. Yes, it was
Right.
4 feet of water, but that was like a show me.
Well,
type
it
thing.
But I
didn't
also-
end up being
the
bad weather
Packers-
either.
Huh?
It didn't end up being
No.
bad weather, and the anticipation at least
Correct.
was more rain in Lambeau.
And the Packers didn't look good week 1. The
Yeah, I mean,
Bears
there was a
looked
lot.
decent week 1, so I was like, okay, maybe it's closer than it obviously wasn't, but
Aaron Jones, they finally got him involved.
that dude needs to be.
And to
he
be
needs to get touches.
And to be fair, the over hits, if that stupid ass goal line stand thing doesn't happen,
Yeah.
debacle thing.
Yeah.
Just saying,
Yeah, that was a touchdown.
putting it out there, that was a touchdown.
Yep.
So I mean,
Right.
we're good there. The Monday night games were awful.
Yeah, Titans, Bills. Bills continued to
Bills
continued
it.
on their way to 15.
I mean, I was super pumped
You guys
because
wanna
I was
question
down
that
by.
now?
No,
I don't.
I
know.
never
Anybody
questioned
taking the under?
I need to look at their schedule.
Anybody
I'll
take-
take it.
You taking that under?
Yeah.
All right.
Shitty shot.
I have.
Shitty shot.
I was down by
What did we have a
30.
shitty shot on this week?
Some money line.
The Bucks.
Yeah,
Bucks
I lost that one
ones.
too.
Yeah, you
I'm
did.
up to 3 now.
No, 2. You had 1 from this.
He missed
score.
all of his picks.
No, I missed all of
I forgot about that. Hercules.
these. Better give me one of those now.
Yeah, we are spread these
So-
out.
So I was okay
Losing
with the Bills.
shitty shots.
I had-
overall standings for the year.
I was down by 30.
Killing it.
Was down by 30 going into Monday night in fantasy with Diggs and Knox, and he had Dalvin Cook. I'm like, okay, there's no way I'm coming back from this until Diggs
down 30,
scored
that's tough.
45
It's because
himself.
Cook like scored 4.
Yeah, I think he ended up with like 8 total.
They just weren't good games.
No.
Truthfully. And we can go back to
Well-
how Cousins sucks because he did not look good.
He didn't
He looked
play. He
rattled
didn't play
of
well.
Everything.
The
Eagles rattled them.
Eagles. The
Rattled
Eagles.
shit out of him.
The Eagles' defensive line looked good. The offensive line for the Vikings didn't. Dalvin Cook needs more touches. I mean, we'll go back to
we went to that. Let me pull it up because
What do
we
you
talked about it.
8 touches total or something like that.
Hell did it go?
You can't have that with Dalvin Cook. I think he had 6 rushes or 9 rushes for 17 yards
He
or
had
something like that.
6. He had 10 total touches
I just
and
don't
12
understand
targets. How?
offensive coordinators, because Dallas does it with Zeke and Pollard. Green Bay did it with Aaron Jones had 8 touches in week 1. He had like 18.
They
last
changed
night.
it,
Like,
but
like,
why?
How
Isn't that
how
always
do you
normal
get
game plan?
that lost within your offensive game plan that you don't get your best player 15 plus touches?
How many rushing attempts do you
a
think
game?
the Vikings had in that game? Did you watch any of it at all?
No, I didn't. I was watching
Okay.
the other game
But-
because I like watching Josh Allen,
Okay, he's pretty good.
and I like.
But
watching
what do you
the
think?
Titans
What do you
suck.
think they had? What do you think they had?
12.
They had 9 total. How? How do you only have 9?
So and this is where Stafford, Rams, O'Connell, they were built more for that. Now, did they have K-Maker? Did they have Henderson? Yes, they had those backs. But the Vikings are literally a run-first team. Should you need to get Cook involved? You
Should
need to
they-
get your run
should
game
they
going.
actually run?
Yes, exactly. And then that opens up. I mean, Thielen not being targeted until late in the like that
Right.
should never happen.
Which
Now,
Cole was super lost. on.
Also,
I was talking to a Vikings fan at work when you texted that, or when I saw the
Read it, yeah.
notification. So like, therefore, to me, it had just come in 15 minutes earlier, mid conversation with the Vikings fan, and I'm like, Tyler, did
Thielen?
Thielen
You
retire?"
asked him?
Yeah, and he's like, what? So he's like, I gotta go research this. He literally
That's
walked
awesome.
back to his office. So like, we started a rumor.
that's great. That's great.
Oh, that's
Because he was just,
Oh.
But also, I mean,
moaning about how bad they were.
You had a
That's awesome.
you had a complete drop by Irv Smith. Again, a walk-in touchdown. 2 walk-in touchdowns that have been dropped in Vikings games. One's versus them, one's against them. So there's a little bit of karma there. But also, this baffles me. Philadelphia could move the ball at will because the Vikings just stayed in a shell zone coverage that all Philadelphia's receivers did was sat down in a zone, and it didn't matter.
Yep.
And then you have Bynum, one of the Vikings safeties. 2 very, very poor plays in my mind. The first one is when he bites on a tight end running an out route, I think, and Quez Watkins gets behind him. There's no way anybody's going to touch him because Harrison Smith is on the other side of the field watching. I think he was on Devontae Smith on another go route. And then the next one is Jalen Hurts. I think it was a 24-yard touchdown run. I can't remember. It was a second one, I believe. If a guy's in the 5 and you stand him up and he's still standing straight up, don't just try and go for the ball. Wrap him up, tackle him, give your defense a chance to stop them within the 5.
I mean, I don't disagree. And listening to, and I again
By the way,
watched very
Yeah.
small parts of this game. The Vikings only gave up 24 points.
They gave
And
up.
It sounded to me like if you would have just let me listen to all the conversation, whether it be from radio, whether it be from you or a couple people at work, like I would have thought that the Vikings lost this game 45-7. Did it feel that bad?
Yes, because
Early.
there was 3 interceptions where the Vikings throw 2 of them in the end zone.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what we talked about.
So you throw 2 interceptions in the end zone. So feeling wise, it feels like you lose by 100.
Right, but like
Game-wise
obviously
and
drove the ball
score-
down to the field,
They did, but it was
but you can't throw interceptions.
it was
But
weird. It was
Cousins
like
in
they
prime
got
time.
it was like they got away from what they were doing on the whole drive once they got into the red zone.
A lot of NFL teams have been struggling
Right,
with that
and it's
identity this year.
weird.
Really, the score.
Even the
should have been-
Bills.
The score. Oh my! I don't even know if I can say that.
I was gonna tweet that last night because the Bills early on before they ended up scoring 41,
Also,
the Bills 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. At one point they were 0 for 6 on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, and still scored 41 points in the game
I think the Vikings either
Not
went
on-
3 and out
Oh,
or
third and you said okay.
because they went for it on 3rd down, missed. Went on 4th down and missed. Did it
Got it.
again. Went on for it on 3rd down and missed. And then they ended up
I think-
kicking on the second one because they got a penalty, but it's like they still didn't get it.
Which is crazy because they opened up 3 for 3 on 3rd downs and finished 4 for 12.
Right.
Nope, sorry, 5 for 13. That's
Yeah.
crazy, isn't it?
Well, and a lot of them, that's
They
what
were
I'm saying. They
2
were
for 3 on
3rd
down,
and
though.
short and 4th and short, and it's because they run everything out of the gun.
So this is probably why it felt like it was 45-7, is because Jalen Hurts started the game like 12 for 12, 150 yards, however many touchdowns.
There was no points scored in the second half
of that whole game.
Whole game.
Oh God,
The Vikings.
It went. This is how the third quarter, or this is how the rest of the game went. Okay, it went. Pick in the end zone for the Vikes, blocked field goal, Eagles, another pick. By the way, punt, pick for the Eagles. I mean, pick in the end zone again, punt, end of game.
Jeez,
That's how.
So
I'm glad I didn't.
So this is another thing that we talked about early on in this season. We talked when you get a turnover, blocked field goal, sudden change of possession, as we talked about. Normally, you see one of two things. Like if your running game is going really, really well, you run the ball, and you're like, okay, I'm crushing this team here. Or you try and take the top off the defense and take a shot. The Vikings, who one of their 10 rushes or whatever it was,
9,
ran a zone for 2 yards after a blocked field goal.
Well, to be fair, you threw a pick before that, so that is why. He threw a pick, then blocked field goal, then you're going to run the ball. You can't trust Cousins.
I'm not going to.
I'm not going to. I'm saying why they did, because Cousins, when he starts getting downhill,
especially in
his second
primetime record is
his
bad.
second interception that we talked about this earlier. Like, was it a great throw? No, but it was a better play.
They ran. I think they were 2-by, maybe 3-by. No, they were 3-by. No, they were 2-by. We had Thielen in the slot, Jefferson on the outside. He ran a post corner concept on cover 2, and the back came out, or was it a flat? But the corner just made a great play
on the corner route.
On the corner route.
Yeah,
Came back,
he was
backpedaled.
He high pointed the football.
Had to jump 40 inches to get it.
Touchdown if he doesn't catch it.
Not a touchdown.
not
first
touchdown.
down. It was right on the sideline. It was a possession. I'm going to catch it for a possession.
25
but like
yards.
a completion if the corner doesn't just make a great play.
100%.
I got you.
Yeah. Safety's not. He'll get there, but he's not.
Right.
It's in that window, but he bailed on it hard and
so Slay's and then Slay's first.
It was a late throw. But
Slay's first interception was just a bad throw. It was an interception.
It was a cousin.
The second interception that Slay had in the end zone, when he was just kind of throwing the ball up, hoping Jefferson makes a play when they're down 24-7, like that was just kind of okay. Let's throw the ball up. But regardless, the Vikings lost. Get to our bets.
We did not. I fared well because I went 50%, but you guys did not. Money line locks. Colts. I don't know what happened to you. You're terrible. Detroit for Ryan. I like it. And then Pitt for Cole. They were in it. I like it.
I think they're going to make a quarterback change here soon.
I think so too. I would say next.
And Trubisky doesn't look bad, but
they need
I should say one of two things. They either have to let Trubisky play football,
or
because they have receivers, they have a good running back, and they're conservative.
Yeah,
it's like either let him play
or bring Pickett in,
or put Pickett in,
and do this, and then let him play. By the way,
whatever you're gonna do it. Because that team's way too talented. And they missed Watt, but they lost the game 17-14.
Spread lock, Bucks, easy money. Ryan went with Seattle.
Easy money.
That was.
I watched every snap of that game.
Cole with the Raiders. Should have been fine. Ended up being
dominated the game,
and then got dominated.
Not even really
not dominated. It was just bad.
Stupid too.
Over under Houston Denver. That was one of the easiest unders there was. They weren't scoring. Ryan missed on the Carolina Giants,
which we called that, by the way.
Sure did.
We were we almost took it as our under lock after you left.
And then I would have had a shitty shot.
What is he talking about?
I don't know where you're getting that from. And then Cole with the under, Niners Seahawks, which I thought should have been fine. It didn't.
Well, Garoppolo had to come in.
Yeah, once Garoppolo came in, changed.
The game would have gone under had Garoppolo.
Absolutely.
So,
again,
I don't as bad as my picks were.
Yeah.
If I go down the list,
can I go back and change because I had the Niners out of the playoffs? Can I go back and change the Niners into the playoffs this year?
I would honestly change it now.
100%.
I'm not kidding you.
I think we should do quarterly check-ins.
quarterly bets, like update
Well,
our
I'm just
bets.
saying, like every 4 weeks to 6 weeks, like every 6 weeks, we should go in and just be like, listen, like this is where the game's at. Like, I mean, we're here on a Tuesday.
D-Gen picks, we all lost. I had Cole and I had Seahawks clearly, and then Ryan had Chicago, which weren't close.
Which D-Gen pick of the week would have been the Jaguars for those scoring out.
Yeah, for those scoring out. All right, we're gonna go on a quick break, and we will be back to talk college football. Welcome, our fireside chat.
Should we do that quick, or should we take a break?
We're gonna do President's Cup quick. I forgot golf, guys.
No, I didn't know if you want to do that.
No, we might as
after
well.
the break.
Let's just do it now.
You got a timestamp?
Yeah, I got it right here.
All right. Ryan, you going to start and I'll add?
Yeah.
We'll let Stoy chime in on
Nothing
USA.
important.
So, President's Cup. For those who don't know, huge golf event. Happens every 2 years. U.S. versus the international team. International team being outside of Europe because they have the Ryder Cup. I'll give a course breakdown, and I'll let you talk about more of like the players that are in.
Sounds good.
Quick course breakdown. Quail Hollow. We talked about it. I believe the Wells Fargo was supposed to be here. Ended up getting switched to a different course due to the President's Cup being played here. So if it's a President's Cup course, it doesn't get played on the PGA Tour. It just gets played here. Charlotte, North Carolina. Just under 7,600 yards, par 71. 3 par 5s, 4 par 3s. Typical par 71. Hazards, pretty easy. I mean, it's a golf course, right? Narrow tree line fairways, landing bunkers on tee shots, drivable par 4s. More of a shot shaping course. Let's just put it that way. Greens are surrounded by bunkers.
Biggest
pin
change
placement.
though?
Biggest change that we'll get to, or I'll talk about right after. So U.S. just dominates this series. It's a caveat. It's been 13 total matches since 1994. U.S. leads the series 11 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie. But the biggest change this year is the course change. So Quail Hollow didn't like that their highlight holes of 16, 17, 18 called the Green Mile were not being a factor in some of these matches. So they switched it up. So now the course order is very weird. Holes 1 through 8 are the exact same. The 9th hole is the normal 12th hole. From there, 10 to 15 are originally 13 through 18 on the course, meaning the Green Mile is 13, 14, 15. And then the closing stretch will be, in this order, 10, 11, then 9 is your hole 18.
Yes.
There's a
Funky.
picture that just kind of, it's funky, it's weird, but I like it from a standpoint of if those are your 3 hardest holes, they should be factors in every single match.
Yeah, those are your 3 holes, and the reason they do that is because of the format of the President's Cup or a Ryder Cup or any match play. And that is going to be, you're going to have foursomes, which are alternate shot. You're going to have 4-ball, which is the best score between teammates on a hole. And then you're going to have singles, match play, all part of the event. So those...
Will you have singles, though? That matter?
I mean, that's the question.
Okay.
But essentially what Quail Hollow is wanting to do is just, like Ryan said, they want their best holes, their most iconic holes, to be played and to matter. And so by doing that, specifically in the singles and the match play format, you bring those holes into play 90%, 95% of the time. Like,
Does that helps internationals, like, mentally, right?
No.
If you're down, you there's holes you could catch up on.
yeah, but I mean, if you're not playing well, you don't want to go play the toughest holes on the course.
I'm trying to help here.
I get it. So, I mean, as Ryan said, 11-1-1 USA. Currently minus 650 on FanDuel, minus 700 on DraftKings for the U.S. to win. Several bets you can take, whether it be players to win a certain number of matches, players, you'll have head-to-head stuff once the tournament starts. But yeah, Ryan touched on a lot of the course stuff. I'll touch more on the numbers. I spoke about the foursomes, 4-ball, match play. Foursomes and match play singles are pretty much dead even since 2007. So over the last 6 events, The points that they get for each of these are pretty much dead even.
And when
on
are those usually
two.
played? Singles or Sunday?
Sunday. And then you'll have the format is Thursday. You'll have foursomes, which is just alternate shot. Friday you'll have just 4-ball, and then Saturday you'll have both. So the U.S. is plus 30 in foursomes, and alternate shot plus 30 in points.
So Thursday.
And the rest of it Thursday
and
half of Saturday. So that's where they're winning the President's Cup per history. Now some of that's going to be skewed a little bit. Also, the U.S., for their 12 guys that are on the team, averages a world ranking of 12th. For the international team, their average world ranking is 49th. Skewed by live a little bit. The U.S. is missing DJ, Brooks, Bryson, and dare we say Taylor Gooch. But everyone in the U.S. of the 12 is ranked in the top 25. Kevin Kistner, the last guy added as a captain's pick, is 25th in the world. So not too shabby considering that there's only 3 guys on the international team, Hideki Matsuyama, Sung Jae Im, and Tom Kim, that are in the top 25 period. Now they are missing Cam Smith, Joaquin Neiman, Abraham Answer, and Louis Oosthuizen. They're missing others, but those are the 4 guys that they would shoot their rankings up immensely.
So you would say an average of like 12 and 25, 30?
I would say 30.
30?
30, 35.
So we're going to 12.
But even then, like the U.S., like it shows how loaded the U.S. team is, and that like Zalatoris is hurt. Patrick Reed isn't even in conversation, and that guy's a Ryder Cup / President's Cup / match play fiend.
Yes.
He lives
was.
for it.
He was.
It's the one reason that I have any respect for Patrick Reed at all is just watching him and how he competes at Ryder Cups.
It's iconic. Him and Rory, that was iconic.
The U.S. team has 4 guys who have not played in a Ryder Cup or a President's Cup. They also have 8 guys who have. Of those 8 guys, Tony Finau is the only guy with a losing record, and he's 3-4-3. The international team has 8 newcomers, meaning they've played in an international competition 0 times. 4 guys who have a record, and only 1 person who has a winning record. So Adam Scott, it's Sanjay, and he's like 6-4-3, something like that.
He's good in singles, isn't he?
Yeah, but Adam Scott is the most notable of the bunch as far as international play. He's like 12-16 overall. So fine, but at the end of the day, lack of experience, lack of overall talent. There's a reason why the U.S.
25 to 109.
It's not close.
25 to 109. The worst ranking on the U.S. is 25. The worst ranking internationally is 109.
Now, and I would argue that is not as deceiving, or that is more deceiving than the actual
rankings,
full of the parts, because Taylor Pendrith, had he been healthy, would be ranked above. Well, he'd be ranked top 50 easily.
Yeah.
The way he played the second half of the season.
So I just want. I'm just
Siwoo Kim, I say the same thing. He's ranked 76th.
Yeah.
That guy's playing well. So I think a lot of the inexperience actually helps the international team. I think they'll be competitive. The question becomes, the next part that I'll talk about is, so like when the teams practice, they'll practice in pods. So the U.S. has practiced in pods for a couple of days. The international team, kind of a mixed bag so far from all reports. So the pods for the U.S. so far have been Patrick Cantlay, Justin Thomas, Xander Schauffele, and Jordan Spieth. Very much anticipated that Cantlay and Schauffele will play together. They play well together. They won the tour event, the partner tour event earlier this year. Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth have been friends forever. Thing with that, and the caveat that
they don't play well.
It won't change this event, but it probably needs to, is they don't play well together because their games are too similar. But no anticipation
of events to keep trying that out. This would be the one.
So no anticipation that's changing.
Ryder Cup might change.
Them being like an alternate shot would be good just from
Right.
like a
Correct.
okay shot shaping. Okay, I know that I want to play from here. Okay, Jordan's game plays very similar, so he'll play from here.
Certain rounds better than
Yeah.
others. Next pod that's been playing together: Sam Burns, Scotty Scheffler, Kevin Kistner, Billy Horschel. Basically, you take Scheffler and you can put him with pretty much anyone. Him and Finau are kind of very similar in that they can kind of play with anybody. Very laid back. You get Kistner, who gets a little bit fired up in these events, and Horschel. So that's where you see the pairing
I'm saying I like those two there.
And Burns is the
Yes.
same way, pretty low-key guy. So that's why you see two
Low keys.
higher, and Horschel and Kistner are going to be very much the guys that hold the 40-foot putts,
Yeah.
the guys that are clutch shot type of guys.
Get the P. Reed-esque crowd
Correct.
into it. Yes,
So
those
like
are
that's
those
what you're
guys.
going to see with those two guys. Obviously, Kistner bringing a little bit of experience, but not necessarily like
Yeah,
President's Cup and
just experience.
just general experience. And the guy's a match play.
and Spieth's the most
guru.
experienced on the team as
Right.
far as President's Cups
Yep.
go.
And then the last crew that you've got is Max Homa, Cam Young, Colin Morikawa.
Wait.
Tony Finau.
No. Winner Homa. Come on. He just
Yes.
won.
He just won. Showed up at 2 a.m. Freddie Couples was waiting for him.
Yep.
Took his
was
luggage out
sweet.
of
That
his
was cool to
car
see.
at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
In North Carolina. So
We have a clip of how he won. But
yes.
that was-
Which I don't know when we want to show that.
Danny
but that was
Willett?
crazy enough in itself.
well, let's show it now.
I
I'll
thought,
pull it up there.
honestly, though, like one of the things that Homa and his like his winter interview, everything from there was like him saying, they're like, does it surprise you how well you're doing? Does it surprise you these things? And he's just like,
His AOL account when he was in grade school was Tiger Woods 59,
which is awesome.
or
Because-
future Tiger 59.
Because 69 was taken.
No, because 59 is
Lowest
key
score.
golf score.
Can you have a joke?
No.
But he's like, I feel like I'm
That's
finally
your second
starting.
69
Make
joke of the day,
make
and we're
sure-
not about to go there.
I didn't make a joke. I just made a
Oh,
look.
you made your eyes.
Can you make sure that button?
So this is
Okay, so-
Ryan putting for the win.
No,
Hey,
Mind
mind you, Homa chipped in.
Yeah. Do you have the other one? Can you show
No.
the other picture first? Just the picture.
I am
Which
for
picture?
sure.
Go this
This
picture.
one?
Yes. Okay. So here I'm going to set the scene.
Scene is being set.
This is click the right arrow there for me,
Okay, sorry.
please. Okay, Max Homa is down one stroke and has to hit this chip to make a birdie in order to tie Willett for the championship or for the
Assuming
championship
Willett
of this.
doesn't make.
Correct. Yep. So
Assuming Willett doesn't make.
Homa made that chip. We don't have that video, but Homa
This chip.
makes that chip to get to 16 under. Willett now has this putt,
3-footer.
which we're going to show on video, to win the tournament. This is a birdie
Also,
putt
that
To
Homa
what?
chip, that's his second chip.
that he made.
Because the one right before that was out of this bunker, I think.
Well, that's
that
where he hit
came
his drive. Where he hit his drive to.
Right, but he came out of the bunker short
Correct.
and then had to chip on.
Yes, he chipped and then chipped in for birdie.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
So this is Ryan putting for birdie to win.
Enough.
Oh,
How do you run it by so
Still-
fast?
I don't burn it
So-
that bad. Maybe on the
right,
glass
but, I
that
mean,
they're
he's
putting.
going
That's
aggressive.
fine.
Right.
I missed
So,
it to
like,
win it. Let's just go
Holmes
tap this
watching.
one in, and let's get to OT.
Breaks on him. So he has just 3-putted from 4 feet as a paid professional. So
To
all
win
of
a
you
tournament.
out there who think that you should never do that, this guy practices golf every day and showed the most amazing.
That was a poll.
class,
Pure pull.
laughing.
But he
Like,
didn't. But
I mean,
he was
I don't
frustrated.
know
and
if
he
it
did.
was class. It was just like the restraint.
So you
that
could
he
Yeah,
see this.
showed.
okay,
though.
that's
Watch this.
fair.
He pulls it, but doesn't pay attention to the break after. See, he's not looking, and he probably should have
No,
to help
but,
him on this.
I mean, these putts though. Like,
I'm helping. I'm trying to.
no,
what
he
I
pulled
would have
that one
done.
too. He got
Every
short
time
with
I
that
miss,
one,
I
too.
watch the
He
ball.
did the same miss
And he-
both times.
Yeah.
So makes the comebacker for a T2 on the third. So walks off, smile on his face.
Making jokes in his interview.
Yeah, like, I mean, what else can you do? Like, appreciate Willett's ability to overcome that, but
Willett
I would
doing
have
that.
thrown my putter so far into the gallery.
I wouldn't have missed the putt.
Oh, I would have for sure missed the first one, but I don't know if I would have burned it by that much.
Oh no, not way, because I wouldn't have touched it that hard. I would have left it short.
Right.
Yeah, actually
Pretty close.
that's accurate. Just,
Okay,
just
last
tab
so
it
let's
in.
go. Let's
Just
go to
tab it
extras.
in.
Just trying to make people feel better about their
this.
games.
Wait, just trying to make others feel better, not me, because you just told me that I'm 3-putting that guaranteed. So
I mean, we've all three of us have 3-putted from that far before.
Which is why we are now putting anything out 5 or
Correct.
less, right?
Correct.
Yeah. We need to
which
go out and
makes
do
you a
that.
better putter. So that is kind of President's Cup recap. Any last thoughts? There's just it's
not gonna be
expected
close.
U.S. dominance, but I am excited to watch.
So even if you
It's
brought
great.
brought in, so you could say take out Penrith
mm-hmm.
and bring in Cam
But
Smith.
that's the thing. I wouldn't.
Cam
I would
Smith, who's
take out
3.
Munoz or Lee.
Boys,
Okay.
boys.
But even if you made those guys
We
two
don't-
both
we-
top 50, it's 41.
We don't need to spend
Right.
more time on that because it's not going to be close.
It's not. And nobody's
It's USA
trained.
all the way, and we have football still to talk about after these messages. Welcome, our fireside chat. This one's going to be hot. A couple of topics will be overall trust in a relationship between your planner and yourself.
It's our job to figure out what's in the best interest for you.
We have to start this thing early.
How do I play this game patient enough to see this trade turn to fruition?
Real estate in general can have a lot of tax benefits to you.
Listen and subscribe to the No BS Wealth podcast on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
Bryson with a ridiculous swing speed.
Mm-hmm.
If you're Bryson with a ridiculous swing
you're
speed
3.
versus, I don't know.
I don't know what Bryson's current swing speed is because I don't watch.
Bryson. I did see something the other day. It was like talking about Bryson, and it was
Lightning.
him
delay.
talking about how he has to de-loft his pitching wedge because with his swing speed he gets so much spin if he has it lofted up too high and all this stuff. And somebody's like, yeah, or you could play the game of golf like a normal person and just learn a normal swing, and you don't have to swing out of your shoes every time.
That's funny. Speaking of that, we're supposed to play with Nick and Raj on Friday, like 3:30. Get a little night game in later.
Can you go back to the time?
But they didn't show up. So I was just with my boys. Played from the tips because Lincoln wanted to play the black tees because he's a baller. That's what we do. Shot an 82. I was pretty happy.
Pretty happy with that.
Pretty happy with it. With kids, by the way.
Oh yeah. You don't have? Did you have any fall out of the cart?
Nope. I didn't have that.
That's good.
Didn't have that. Didn't have any really blow ups. They were
The last 2 times I've tried to take him out golfing, he has refused. I think we're still a little.
still a little reluctant.
I mean, he still likes to play in the yard, but like
the
yeah,
cart
the cart
thing.
has, we've
But yeah.
You threw one of your boys out of the cart?
Well, he threw his. Yes, he threw. He threw himself.
very hard and almost.
Well, to be fair, he didn't.
destroyed
He was.
himself.
He wanted to get the water bottle. Is what it is. All right, college football. Colegio football this week. Wisconsin versus nobody. Got it. I like it.
Who typed that in?
I was gonna put Wisconsin Ohio State game in there.
That's
It's
what that
not
was.
this week.
Wisconsin, Ohio State.
Is it?
How did you miss that one?
Well, Wisconsin's not in the top 25, and that's what I
Correct.
go off of.
Oh,
Is the ESPN top 25 list.
that's fair.
Also, Vandy's getting 40.5 against Bama. Give me Vandy all freaking day.
All right, well, make
Yeah.
that your spread lock.
Lock that one in, please.
No, I got to ride with
He
my-
says no.
No, and only because I'm riding with my Trojans.
Okay, that's
Six
fair.
and- they're 6.5.
Um,
Come on.
So,
Against the Beavs.
Give
why
it
is
to
that?
me.
Quick enter. Quick.
Got so many locks this week. They're all going to
There
miss.
it goes.
All right, let's do it. So
NCAA football.
NCAA football, there is no locks in NCAA football.
NCAA football.
Lock?
We'll start
Locks?
as we bring up some of these lines for the Ohio State Wisconsin game. We'll start with number 20 Florida traveling to Knoxville against number 11 Tennessee. Tennessee opens as on FanDuel anyways 10.5-point favorites. The total as it sat on
2:30 on
FanDuel
Saturday.
62.5.
Yeah. I'll start. I got my stuff filled in. Tennessee,
10
it's
and 62.
it's time to prove it. We're here. This is your time. Like, this is a game you have to win in order to continue the momentum.
Mm-hmm.
This is what everybody in Tennessee has talked about. Been leading up to Florida disappointing loss last week. Can they right the ship? Too many points, in my opinion, is the big thing here. I don't think 62.5 hits. I'll take the under on that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I will take
Double that up.
Florida to cover. SEC game, Tennessee, a lot of pressure. I don't think Florida's offense is that great, but they're going to come ready to play. I don't see Tennessee running away with this one, but I think Tennessee does fine. They're just a better football team. So I will take Tennessee to win, Florida to cover, and the under of 62.5.
I like the under. I do like Tennessee to win. I think Tennessee's just a better football team. I don't believe in Richardson whatsoever. He's just been bad.
Mhm.
Even when he's been good, he's still not been good
Mhm.
in that game. I'm actually taking Tennessee to cover the spread on this one. It is a 10.5, kind of how we talked before. And Florida's something ridiculous like 22 or 23 of 20 the last 25 matchups or something like that. But yeah, I don't think Florida's
Gotcha.
maybe they're a top 25 team. I don't know. They're a bubble top 25 team. I like Tennessee to be maybe a top 15 team to end the year.
Yeah.
So Tennessee under.
This one's not close. Tennessee under.
All right.
Let's move on.
Arkansas A&M. Again, Arkansas
Prove it game.
here, prove it game. Texas A&M, can you win 2 weeks in a row against high quality opponent? Arkansas undefeated at this point. Texas A&M still trying to save face. Texas A&M is 2.5-point favorites at home. Again, that's a 5 to 6 point stadium, so the 2.5 is still a lean towards Arkansas. I will take Arkansas outright in this game. I will take Arkansas, obviously, to cover the spread.
Better be taking that under.
And I will
SEC unders?
be taking the under
Yeah, multiply that by 2.
because
No,
Texas
thank you,
A&M can't score, but their defense is also good. Just feels like too many points in a game where, Arkansas wins this game like 27-17.
Concur.
So you're going Arkansas under?
Yeah.
Stoy is as well.
Yeah, these aren't.
Yeah, they're not great. I mean,
They're not games of mine.
overall, like,
I mean, they're-
games. I just
they're-
I
there's
actually-
not a ton out there. This
I
week,
actually-
in my opinion, but
I actually think A&M is going to win this game for their defense,
Okay.
because of their defense. I do agree that it stays under, and I think it's going to be something ridiculous. This is a little bit of a hedge, but I also do think it's going to be something where it comes down to maybe a 2-point conversion or something like that
Gotcha.
at the end. So I am going to take Arkansas to cover there. but I do think A&M wins this outright.
Such a hedger.
This one's truly not that I think it's a pick'em game in a sense. I believe that A&M's the better team.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know that they. It's weird to say that I don't know that they can win by a field goal, but I don't think that they win by. It's just weird to say. Let's go down to Ohio State, Wisconsin, and we'll save that top one for last.
Yep.
Opening, like we talked about, opening of conference season. Ohio State, Wisconsin. Ohio State opens up at 17.5.
18 on DraftKings.
18 on DraftKings, 17.5 on FanDuel, 56.5 is the total on FanDuel.
Under. Wisconsin cannot score.
What's the total?
56.5.
56. Okay.
It just Wisconsin can't score.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't really think Ohio State's great at scoring.
No.
So,
on top of that,
I mean, that's just that's an under for me all the way.
18.
Ohio State finds a way to win this game.
They'll win.
But I think Wisconsin covers. Wisconsin's, I mean, they're better than Notre Dame.
They just won't. They're just not going to give up the points.
No. Like, this is like a 24-10 game.
Not a non-close 24-10.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just like
It's just
it's not overly competitive, but like Ohio State just isn't flashy like they should be.
I'm going to take Ohio State to
I agree.
at home cover the spread. If this was in Wisconsin, in Madison, I think I take Wisconsin, but I think I'll take Ohio State.
I need Ohio State to beat somebody good.
Right.
Like,
if I need Ohio State, this is. I don't
I'm
like
looking at
taking
the Notre
unders.
Dame
I
game for
hate
this
taking
one.
unders. I mean, I don't mind taking Big Ten unders. I hate
Right.
taking unders in college football. I need Ohio State to be the Ohio State and blow a total out.
Right.
Joke's
And I
on
just
you.
don't.
Yeah.
I don't like that. But yes, Ohio State under.
All right, the game of the week, baby.
ACC play. Number 5 Clemson opens up as a 7.5-point favorite
Better be a night game.
against the
Demon Deacons.
Demon Deacons. Tongue twister. Wake Forest. Number 5 versus number 21. Totals 56.5. Cole, I mean, your picks are in. Let's start us off here quick.
Yeah.
Where is that game?
Clemson, I don't think their defense gives up a lot of points. I know Wake Forest is talented to be able to throw the ball around a little bit. I just don't see Clemson allowing that. I don't think Clemson's offense is great. I see this game as an under 56.5.
Found it.
I also see Clemson just finding a way to clamp down and winning this game by probably somewhere between 10 to 13 points.
It's 7 and 55.5. Money is on Clemson to cover 7 on DraftKings.
So,
this is an under.
yeah.
I don't know. It's just an under. And clearly give me 56.5 over 55. Clemson will figure out how to win it. Reluctantly. But what is it? What is it over there? 7.5? Dad, they're going to win by 10, so.
Yeah. 24-14.
Yeah, I mean,
I just don't see it getting more than that. Like,
I'm following
31-21 is like high to me, and it's still not there.
it's not there.
It's still not
Exactly.
there.
I'm following suit on Clemson. I actually like Wake Forest to cover.
So
Did they
many
play
unders.
bad? They played bad against
Let's get 'em.
who they just beat, Liberty, by a point
not
last
great.
week. Just
Yeah.
not a good.
Not a good showing.
But I do think Sam Hartman's
Looking
a better.
ahead, though.
Look, yeah, and a drop
Sam
off
Hartman's
from
a
the week
better
before.
quarterback than maybe what he played.
Right,
as-
I
or
don't
what
disagree.
Wake Forest is a better team than that. I like the over, so I like Clemson, Wake Forest over.
All right. Let's get to these locks where I am just golden as can be, like the showers you love.
Locking his
What?
locks.
Can't say that.
Can't say that.
Who's got the locks of love? I got my lock. I got my love lock of the week.
Love
ahead.
lock of the week.
That would be Jordan Love, Drew Lock, and I need some Andrew Luck to get it to come through. We're just spitballing here.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of talking.
Yeah. USC is playing the Oregon State Beavers, and they are currently 6.5-point favorites.
That's your spread lock?
And I am taking them to lock it up at 6.5.
Oh, the spread. You jumped money line. Okay.
No, I don't even care. That was my lock of the week.
Oh, that's the lock
that is my,
of the week.
That is my I'm not getting a shitty shot in college football lock of the week.
Because that one's protecting
I'm
me.
putting double shitty shot on that.
Yes.
Let's go.
My
So
lock of
you'll
the
have
week.
12 next week. Got
My
it.
lock of the week. This
Rockin'.
doesn't often happen in the Sun Belt Conference, especially with this team. I like Coastal minus 137 over Georgia State.
You love
I
Coastal
knew that
so
shit was going to
much.
happen.
I looked at that and just about threw up. I was like, Ryan's going to pick this. Hope they lose.
You just don't hope that.
No,
I mean, okay.
I really said that in my head.
I really said that in my head.
I promise.
Man.
I saw it. I was like, oh,
sorry.
I know where Ryan's going to be this week.
Give me my spread lock.
Chanticleer Nation.
Give me Vandy, 40.5.
48.5?
40.5.
40.5.
Oh. I thought
48.
You're
I
welcome.
would have bet my mortgage on.
Vice, you're welcome.
Yeah.
But did that not jump at you? Also-
so many points.
The over on that game?
I didn't even look at. I didn't even have to look at it.
That's where I'm going next.
Hey, money's on 58.5 on DraftKings.
Yeah, I'll take the over. Vandy's going to score a little bit. That's my over-under lock of the week.
what is it? Over what?
Over 58.5.
On DraftKings.
That's what it is on FanDuel.
Okay.
What am I? Oh, I have to do something else. Money line. Oh, you got to go to over under. I'll get there. Jeez, I mean, I haven't even done money line.
No, I know. We're doing that last.
No, he did it first. So, like, calm
Well.
it down.
What, do you want me to go money line?
I'm going to go.
You're just going to make all your picks.
I'm going to take Oklahoma. I'm going to take Oklahoma 12.5 as my spread lock.
Against Kansas State, who's garbage.
Yeah.
Like, absolute garbage. I like them by 30. I do not understand that line.
They might
either.
start 4 games over winning by 30 or more.
Absolutely. 100%. Kansas State is horrible. My money line is going to be the Golden Govers of Minnesota.
Minnesota over Michigan State.
Is minus 134 over Michigan State.
Is that because of how bad?
Combination of not even, I mean, how bad, but like Minnesota is more than efficient on offense and has shown that this year. And Washington was the same way, so I just don't see that changing this week.
I'm going to give some love to a local team here on my money lock. Give me Iowa State over Baylor at home. Only because it's at home. Love me some lefty deckers.
I mean, I love what they do. Baylor just has their number.
Well, we'll see it at home.
So
I'm
actually in that game. I'm taking the over 45.5 on that game.
I do like that number.
The over? 46?
I just don't.
I have it at 45.5 here.
I don't understand how that game's under like
Below 50.
52.
Yeah,
Like,
below 50 in general.
Yeah, like-
I don't get it.
I would agree.
Yep.
Where the hell do my
Well,
over-under go?
here's the reason. Iowa State second half defense gives up like 3 points per game. So like Baylor's got to get 20 in the first half which they might.
My over under. Give me Georgia on the under. Georgia will score 58 themselves, but they're not scoring. Like,
Who are they playing?
where did it go?
I saw that earlier. I don't remember what game.
Had it.
Georgia Kent State
Yeah.
State.
under 61.5 is what I have it at.
I have it 62.5. Give me 62.5.
Kent State's not scoring. They're scoring 0.
They might get a field goal at best. Absolute best. And Georgia's going to score 58. Gives me 61. I'm good. They're just not. It's just not going
Are they going to score more than Oregon?
Stupid.
D-Gen
D-Gen.
this week.
Gen lock of the week. Give me the Gators.
I like it.
Florida over Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a lot out there either, but plus 320 seems like a decent SEC rivalry bet, especially with all the upsets in college football.
Did you see the over-under on the Iowa Rutgers?
Yeah,
34.5.
34.5, and I was all over. That was my second favorite over-under, and on the under, because there is no way either one of those teams is getting to 20 points. Not a chance.
Oh, it's gonna
Not
be
a
so bad.
chance.
That's
not
a bad.
living
I am
chance
actually-
in hell.
Bad.
If I remember correctly, this team is undefeated to start the year. Now, have they played anybody? No.
I'm so on the like. You would have to bring that under
20.
down to 29.5 before I considered.
It's gonna
Not
be
taking
under.
the over.
But it's at.
But they should be on upset alert.
Who are you talking about, Ryan?
I'm taking James Madison plus 225 over App State.
Disagree, but hey,
I
you
actually
gotta
do
take somebody.
disagree.
Gotta take somebody.
Aggressively disagree.
I mean, I disagree with myself, but
because it's
the
going to
way
make
that
me physically ill.
my other option and maybe a better option in my eyes was Wake Forest over Clemson.
Give me Washington State plus 215 over Oregon at home. Coach Ward, let's get it.
Get it.
Let's get it.
Homer pick.
Yes.
He's also got a Saubert 2+ TDs bet in this week for the Broncos.
I may or may not. No, one, because they don't score 2 touchdowns.
Hey, they might start. You start running some play action on 3rd and 1. You might start getting some tight end TDs, bud.
Well, they don't. So don't
All right.
bud me.
We breaking again?
No, we don't have time.
No time to break.
But we will.
We're going straight to the NFL.
We will cut right to our boy.
DU.
Saubert. Rot her over the LB. Nice little ball. Catch it. Let's go.
Take it out.
Only touchdown of the day.
Yes.
Okay, just saying. Big spike. Gronk spike. He's jacked.
Yeah, except for not Gronk.
He's not
Gronk
Gronk.
is better.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this
No,
age.
I'm just saying spiking.
Oh, yeah.
Also better on the football
It's his
field.
second touchdown ever.
I know, but like we
Okay.
need more of a vertical spike. Those are the best. This one's too horizontal. See how the ball gets
Maybe
too
that's
far out in
maybe
front of
that's
him?
because he doesn't want to Gronk spike it. It's the Saubert spike.
It's also harder on the body to Gronk spike.
Yeah,
That's why Gronk was
Good.
injured
Then
so
that's
much.
why his back's
Yeah, exactly.
broken.
You can argue that all you want, but it's the truth.
Go ahead and while we're pulling this up, you guys, this one was funny. Did you see this one? The dude
Did
gets
he
his
pee on
pants.
him?
No, gets his pants stuck in his helmet.
Oh, I thought he was like fake peeing on
I
him.
know.
Like
Everyone's like, I thought this was taunting.
Yeah.
No, he just got stuck.
I'm so glad they didn't throw a flag. Good job out of that
Right.
ref seeing what's going on.
Clearly, all the refs were like, "Oh yeah."
It would have been. Oh, was that ref trying to grab his penis?
I don't know.
He might have
We
been.
can't use those words on this show.
What?
I don't know. I'm just messing up. But hey, you guys want to see a little President's Cup action? One of the greatest putts in history. Look
People,
at this.
people do need to know though
Who
that
walks this in from
people
there?
need to know that it didn't matter if that putt went in or not though.
True, it didn't. It was over. But that's pretty badass, right?
All they knew is that it was close enough that Tiger wasn't going to have to hit another putt, and therefore it went in, and then it's the greatest putt of all time.
Now that might have been, there might have been a little bit of video editing there. It wasn't that far away when he did it.
It was.
No, it was not. It was not this far away.
Watch.
It was not this far away. He did not start walking there. He started walking there, and you'll see it
Oh, you
when they
mean
cut this in.
I
Yeah.
got you.
You'll see it now. That's when he started to, not
Not the first one.
not 12
As
feet
he
when he
hits
touched
it,
the
as
putt.
he hits it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's
I
be
gotcha.
real.
All right, fair enough.
Little NFL.
NFL, deep dive.
I got 2 minutes.
Let's do it.
Let it fly then.
I'll just do my lock picks at the bottom because those top picks are easier.
'Kay.
To go through quick. My locks down at the bottom. We'll talk about one of those. They'll talk about one of the games up top. I like San Francisco over Denver, even though Russell Wilson has San Francisco's number. San Francisco minus 118. That's my money line lock.
And
Spread lock. I like the Eagles over the Commanders.
Phillies now.
Yeah. They just, the Commanders are a worse team than the Vikings.
fly
and,
Eagles fly.
Come on.
Fly, Eagles.
If I remember correct, is it a home as well? No, it's not. It's in
No,
Washington.
it's
Doesn't
not
matter. Vegas versus Tennessee under 46.5. Neither of those teams look good whatsoever.
Agreed.
So I like that. And then my last one, I'm going to ride the Jacksonville Jaguars. Although I have the Chargers making the playoffs, I think the Chargers are a good team. Jacksonville showed some promise.
Yeah.
And a shutout win. This is what, the second or third time that they've shut the Colts out in the last 2 or 3 years?
They've owned the Colts.
Yeah.
That's who the Colts lose to.
That's the Tom Brady Patriots. Tom Brady Patriots Miami, Colts Jacksonville.
Right.
That's my.
Can my DGen pick be a parlay? I'm not shitting you. I see 4 upsets.
But
anyways,
you're gonna see that in my picks above.
Okay, cool. All right.
I mean, probably our picks above.
Let's get to it then, because gee willikers,
Yeah,
Batman.
I've got.
I could argue 5.
Steelers, Detroit, Dallas are all winning this week as dogs.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Maybe that'll just be our big parlay, because it's going to be
parlay.
big.
Yep.
Well, if I'm being honest, my last pick there, you'll see it, was out of spite because you picked against Minnesota.
That's fair. That's fair. That's completely fair.
It's just not. I don't see. Anyways, all right. Thursday Night
I
Football.
don't see it either, but it was out of spite.
Hey, that's fair.
Thursday Night Football is going to have their early win 7-pointer.
Yep.
And if you were a bet man, where would you put that? Pittsburgh?
The tough part about this one is that like one of these teams has to get up a touchdown. That was my toughest part with this.
You're not wrong.
Also, on top of that, it appears right now that the forecast is for rain, so like that does not help the
anything
case at all. It's in Cleveland, so would you say they get up a touchdown? I don't know. My thought is, I mean, I've got Pittsburgh winning this game outright. So,
hey, and Steve also is going to pick Pittsburgh for the 7-point early win. So
yeah,
I also have Pitt. Their offense is looking better than Cleveland's, which is not saying much at all. Cleveland's defense is, I don't know what's wrong with them.
yeah,
But they have issues.
They've got talent, but they're not
They have
organized.
issues. And Pittsburgh's offense has talent. I think they'll score specifically early.
Yep.
And we both have them going under because it's Thursday Night Football and it's Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and
And it's going to rain.
and
Which is the
and it's
biggest
gonna rain.
reason
You think they
that
get to
number's
20?
low, 30
24?
I think they get to 30-ish.
Tops
Yeah, call it 31 to 34.
16-15.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that game's
I'll
just
go with
always a slugfest anyway.
I can wrong with that.
Detroit, Minnesota.
Detroit, what?
This might be my favorite game. 2 teams that can score the football.
Gonna be a fun one.
Neither team with an overly powerful defense. I think we're going to see similar scoring to what we saw in the opener, Detroit and Philly. A lot of points, 70-plus points scored in that game. So I'm definitely riding the over in this game. But I think Detroit finds a way to win this game. Don't know. There's really no reason why. Minnesota's at home. Detroit's Detroit, but Minnesota's also Minnesota, and it kind of picks on Ryan a little bit. So give me the Lions. Give me the over. Lions to win, obviously covering the spread if they're winning.
I picked Philly last week to beat Minnesota. I thought it would be a closer affair.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't look good. And Detroit's been playing way better.
Hurts running the ball was a difference in that Minnesota game, so that's my only.
I agree,
is
but
that
Minnesota
Goff's not
didn't
gonna
run the
run it?
ball.
Huh?
I don't care if Hurts is running the ball. You run the ball.
Yeah, but Minnesota will run the ball against the Lions. The Lions will try to run the ball against Minnesota, so I think there's like.
Which is why it's going under. By the way.
I mean, I think they're going to gash each other on the ground, honestly.
I don't think one team gets over 24.
That's fair.
So give me Detroit in the under. Atlanta, Seattle, also one of my upset picks, I guess technically. I don't.
Is that a pick that makes you upset?
No, this is the first one in the season I had them marked down.
Oh no! See, they battled so good, and then they lost by 1 again, 24-23.
We just love losing one. Anyways, no, this is the game I had marked of the first 3 that they win. Arguably.
But
going into this,
they won 24. They lost 24-23. It was so close. They were up 23-21, and then at the last second, Seattle kicked a field goal.
Yeah.
And then it went over, and then it was just
all of those things could happen.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
what happens.
Again,
I just want you to be prepared. That's
this
how it
season I'm
happens.
mentally
That's
prepared.
how it happens.
However, give me Atlanta over.
Alright.
They've been scoring. They're going to score 27 themselves.
Okay.
And
so they're giving
Seattle
up 29.
Seattle has to score 14, which they will.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Oh, let's see.
Ryan's got Atlanta over as well. And you're riding with Seattle over.
Yes.
Because of the things that you just said on repeat.
Got it. I just kept telling you.
I don't. It is what it is.
I'm not trying to speed things up or anything.
No, I like
that's what I'm going with.
So San Fran, Denver.
Yeah.
Good luck!
I mean,
Denver
Garoppolo.
can't score. And Garoppolo.
San Francisco has more energy, is a better offense right now with Garoppolo. Everybody rallies around Garoppolo. I mean, the dudes love him. Like, I don't know if it's looks, if it's play,
Did you see
if
on that
it's practice.
sneak and what they came up and did?
Yeah, just like you would have sworn he was going to win like Playboy Dude of the Year for the 49ers.
Or they won the Super Bowl right there. It was
something.
crazy.
So,
yeah, that one's
and
easy.
Kittle's going to be back, I think, this week. So they only get better with that. So, yeah, give me San Francisco. Denver is out of sorts in short yardage, can't score touchdowns, and ultimately that's going to be their demise in Denver against San Francisco, who is solid on defense and is only going to create issues in those downs and distances. So
Agreed. And then we get to Monday Night Football with your boys.
The boys against the Giants.
The undefeated G-Man. Which is insane in itself.
Right. Overall, this is not difficult for me. I'm not going to take Dallas to lose against the Giants ever.
No,
the Giants just aren't a good enough football team.
But they're not.
Dallas's defense, solid. Giants defense, okay. Always kind of ugly games, but both teams seem to find a way most of the time to score against each other. And so 39.5 is just not. I've looked back to like call it the last 20 games. Like 3 or 4 of those have gone under the 39.5 number. So like it's not that they're scoring 60, but I mean they're scoring more than 39.5. Daniel Jones is more than competent from a perspective
Barkley,
of like
they're going to score.
They've seen Dallas a lot. Like familiarity works both ways on this. Barkley's been healthy and solid, and I think the Cowboys maybe got some stuff figured out last week. Rush, they can run their full offense with Rush and get both backs involved. So give me the Cowboys to win the game and the over of 39.5.
I concur. Ryan went with the G-Men on the money line. Probably spite out of you.
He tried to spite me, but then he
hedged
chose
himself
Dallas to cover, which
and then he
is
went
the
under, which
biggest
is
vagina move ever.
well, it is Ryan. But all right, money line lock. Here we go.
Money line lock. Ryan has the Niners at minus 118. My money line lock is going to be the Ravens at minus 164 over the Patriots. Yep, got him. Speak
Minus 155 at
speak don't type
at DraftKings. So we're gonna take that.
That's fair.
All right, so we locked on that one.
Locked on that. Spread lock. I got a little history on this one. Ryan's got Philly over Washington at 6.5. I am taking the Rams at minus 3.5 over Arizona. Past 10 games, Rams are 9-1. Closest game in which they've won is 7 points. So it's one of those things where NFC West is very much cyclical in like teams that dominate other teams or like how they compete against each other regardless of record. And this is one where the Rams just own this series. Arizona coming off a high in a game that they had no business in winning and have not played well enough to win either game this year. Los Angeles came off their Super Bowl hangover loss, played well last week. Expect them to play well again and hand the Cardinals a pretty lopsided loss here.
I'm gonna take Cowboys. Plus 2.5.
I'm sorry.
Enough said. Moving on. Over under.
Ryan has the Raiders and the Titans under 46.5, which I agree is a good bet. Mine is going to be two legendary quarterbacks that get to match up this week in the Packers and the Bucks.
Oh.
So you've got Rodgers versus Brady. That total right now is 41.5. And I just have to give a little bit of a nod to some guys that can play football here. We're in week 3 now. You've had a couple weeks to work out the kinks. 41.5 points cannot be enough in today's NFL for those 2 quarterbacks of that caliber to not score over. Mike Evans is out for the Bucks because he decided to take a cheap shot.
He backed up his quarterback, okay?
No, he took a cheap shot. There was nothing else with that, and he's done it before. And I lost a little respect for Mike Evans, who I've always had perfectly fine respect for, but fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. So, but I will take Rodgers and Brady to score more than 41.5, and if not, neither one of them's the GOAT.
You're not wrong. All right. D-Gen plus 200.
Who'd you take there?
Oh, Broncos, Niners under 45.
45. All right.
Because that's
a lot of points.
A lot of points.
D-Gen pick of the week. Ryan has the Jaguars at plus 265. I'm going to try to sneak in and say that I saw that Detroit was
plus 205.
They are? Yeah, I'm taking that one then.
Okay.
Because I took them up top. They were plus 194, but the money was on Minnesota earlier. So I'm like, they'll get to plus 200 was going to be my excuse on.
I mean, that was, I highlighted. I've already clicked
The other one I had was Jacksonville, but I think Detroit will win that game. So I will take the plus 205 and run with it.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to because there's nothing else to do there.
I'm just surprised that there's that much money on that side.
It's good. It's good overall. But so for big parlay real quick.
Yeah.
If we took Steelers, Lions, Packers.
Yep.
Okay.
I like that.
Falcons.
You like the Falcons?
Cowboys.
Yep.
Plus 7,200.
What? Yeah, let's rock that.
Dude, should we throw in some victories we know are in there, like the Eagles?
No, see,
Or
like
the Commanders?
no, because
No?
as soon as we start to do that, it's getting cocky, and we'll get. Well, let's see. Who else do we like though? Let's go through.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I would be like, I'd be okay with the Rams and the Bills.
What about the Chiefs over the Colts?
Yep.
Okay, Chiefs, Colts. Bengals, Jets, I'm not touching that.
Nope.
Bears, Texans.
We should definitely be touching the Bengals though. Just saying.
Over the Jets?
Yeah.
You think they'll finally get their O-line
the Jets, the only
the
reason
Jets are so bad.
The Jets are bad.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, right.
Bears, Texans, I won't touch that
that's
one.
a game you don't touch.
Ravens, Patriots at New England.
Yeah, and it's not
Just
worth
not
it
ready.
to parlay with what we have.
Eagles, Commanders, yes. Bills, Dolphins.
I like the Bills.
That one's iffy a little bit to me.
I mean, the Dolphins.
They've lost there before.
I don't disagree. I just don't see. I mean, I'm on the Bills all day.
I don't see it though for this week. And then Chargers, Jags.
I wouldn't touch that one either.
Okay. And then what was it? Rams, Cardinals. But without Rams, Cardinals, it's plus 29,256.
What's with the Rams?
Plus 46,000.
Yep, let's go.
All right. It's only 10. It's only 10 teams. All right. Let's do it.
Let's ride.
All right. I like it. So we'll get that up there somehow, some way.
Some way.
Except for you just took my bettable money out. But that's fine. It's fine, guys. We'll win that one. It's only $9,000. We hit that.
We'll get it. We hit it.
But as always,
hit it.
like Ryan says, like, share, subscribe, tweet, do what the things that you need. Comment. Oh, please comment. No one's been talking to us much this season so far, except for one guy, and he's rode with us, and he's probably made money because we've been doing all right.
Also, it's been hard to talk this year because there's been a lot of upsets on both sides.
It's been a very fun for college and NFL. There's been a lot of upsets, a lot of come from behinds, a lot of kickers still missing kicks. It's gonna be is that a theme for the rest of the year? We'll see. We'll see as we get into week 3 of NFL and week 4 of college football. We'll see you next week.